welcome to another episode of Robot Radio. The Vanisher, an original short story by Ed Kennedy, all rights reserved. Part 1. The Well. This fictional story is set in a rural community located in the southern portion of the great state of New Jersey. Our main characters own adjoining properties far from town and well off the main highways. The time frame and location is purposely a bit ambiguous as to not reflect on any actual people or events. This is a story about choices and consequences and living with both. It was the morning after a terrible storm. The winds had been particularly powerful, almost supernaturally so, littering the landscape with toppled trees and downed power lines. Locals would later laugh uneasily and compare the unearthly sound of the thunder to that of the gates of hell being thrown open. They'd be half right at least. A gateway of sorts had been opened. The sunrise was brilliant and lit up the world with a remarkable clarity. Two men approached each other from opposite directions, each inspecting the storm damage as they went. They met up at the crossroads and greeted each other neighborly.
Oh, hey, Kevin. Crazy storm last evening. My dogs were hiding under the bed all night. Was there much damage over by your place?
Good morning, Harry. Well, half my fence seems to have blown over. But even more tragically, our live, love, laugh flag is nowhere to be found.
A true tragedy, if ever there was one. I was about to take a walk down to the ruins of the old mill to see if it took on much damage. If you got your wellies on, you're welcome to join me.
We call them boots, Harry. I was headed down to the old mill anyway. Heard some terrible noises over that way last night.
Yes, terrible noises. That's what had inspired Harry's early morning visit to the ruins of the old mill. There was something behind the intense rumblings of the thunder, something strange and frightening, but familiar and welcoming at the same time. He had been feeling a bit uneasy, and was relieved that Kevin was joining him. The ruins were just that. An old pile of blockish stones along the riverbank that vaguely resembled what might have been at one time a mill. Nobody truly knew for sure. A craggy old tree grew out of its centre, lending the whole tableau a rather sinister air. It was not a spot sought out by young lovers, and no fisherman has ever been seen gracing its banks. As the two neighbours made their way along the old and rutted roadway, they avoided any discussion of the woeful sounds from the night before. As they rounded the corner, the morning sun greeted them with a flood of golden light. The old tree was gone. Not a splinter of it seemed to remain. In its place was what looked like an old well. Simple stone blocks but carved with an intricate pattern. The bank of the river had receded far from its edge, as if trying to avoid being drawn into it. After a while they slowly approached the opening and peered down into it.
Remarkably dry for being so close to the river. It's very dark down there. I have no idea how deep it goes.
Here, let's drop this in. It's my brother-in-law's flashlight. I grabbed it from his truck last night. He's such a dork. Uses a label maker to put his name on everything. Anyway, look out below.
Wow, it's like the darkness ate it, and we should have heard it land by now. Is it just me, or does this just feel kind of unnatural?
I'll admit it's kind of creepy. We need to come back with some rope and more lights. Who knows, we might find something that'll make us famous.
I'm not sure I want to find anything at all, really. Can't shake the feeling that something's not quite right here. Give me a call when you're ready to go, and I'll join you.
Both men had felt a cold shiver pass through them as the flashlight disappeared into the darkness, as if swallowed by it. But neither had felt confident enough to talk about it with the other, and both returned to their homes distracted and lost in thought. While on his walk home, Harry spotted something small and yellow fluttering past in the wind. Reflexively, he reached out and caught it in his hand. Turning it over, he discovered it was one of the annual property tax notices the township mailed out. This one just happened to be addressed to his neighbor Kevin. He stowed it in his jacket pocket and quickly forgot all about it. At about the same time, something similar happened to Kevin on his walk home. He also happened upon a small yellow notice card. This one was caught in the old rosebush that marked his front path and was ironically addressed to his neighbor Harry. Without a second thought, he too pocketed the small yellow slip. Just then, his wife Charlotte came running towards him frantically. She was waving her arms and screaming his name.
Kevin, Kevin! Oh, thank God! He's gone! He was here 1 second and gone the next. In the blink of an eye, damn it. Kevin, where'd he go?
Charlotte, get a hold of yourself. Who's missing?
Danny! My brother! He was standing right in front of me and then he was just gone. His truck is still running in the driveway. Kevin, did you see him? Where can he be? Oh my God, Kevin, this can't be happening.
Danny is missing? When did this happen?
Damn it! I don't know, Kevin. Maybe about 10 minutes ago. He was just standing in front of me plain as day.
Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? Like what anything else?
Like something weird or unnatural?
Damn it, Kevin, I don't know. We can talk about that later. Now help me look for him.
The couple searched for the missing brother for hours, but didn't find a thing. It was as if he had just disappeared. The muddy ground only revealed their own footprints and the half-dozen that led from Danny's truck. Kevin couldn't shake a growing sense of dread. It made no sense, and the worry and confusion were starting to get the better of him. Meanwhile, Harry also found himself filled with an unexplained feeling of unease. His dogs sensed his restlessness and eyed him cautiously as they laid by the wood stove. The sudden ringing of the telephone startled them all, and Harry sat for a moment staring at it as if confused. As soon as he picked up the receiver, he could hear Kevin's panicking voice from the other end.
Harry, it's my brother-in-law, Danny. He's disappeared from the face of the earth. I know it sounds crazy, but there has to be a connection somehow. To the well, I mean, didn't you feel something a bit off after we dropped the flashlight into it?
You mean like a duck walking across your grave or something?
Look, we have to go back. It's getting dark now, but let's meet there first thing in the morning. Harry, promise me you'll meet me there.
Yes, of course I'll meet you there. This truly makes no sense, but somehow deep down, I feel that you're right. God help us both.
The night didn't pass easily for either of them. Harry found himself awakening to the same cryptic dream over and over again, where he was lost in an empty void, screaming but making no sound. He woke before sunrise, drenched in sweat, his heart pounding through his chest. While Kevin didn't bother with sleep at all, he just stared and stared up into the darkness and was eventually consumed by it. He rose cautiously, mindful not to wake his wife Charlotte. Still upset over her missing brother, she had taken some sleeping pills. Only after Kevin kept insisting that she do so, he carefully gathered some clothes and made his way to his workshop. After a few moments of frantic activity, he set out for the well by himself. It was consuming his every thought now. He waited until he was a safe distance away from his house before switching on his flashlight. It was a gloomy and moonless night, and the faint mist seemed to shy away from him as he went. When he arrived back at the well, he cautiously approached its edge. He took an envelope out of his pocket and briefly held it up to the light, before dropping it into the opening below, watching as it was, gobbled up by the darkness. The disheartening sensation he had felt the first time he dropped something into the well was replaced by an exhilarating sense of purpose. He strode off back home, certain of what he would find there and what he had to do next.
Hello, Kevin.
Hey, buddy, how'd you know it was me?
Who else would it be this early? Did you have as bad a night as I did? Mine was horrible, even spooked my dogs.
Nah, not me. Slept like a log. Woke up feeling kind of foolish over all this well stuff. Still want to meet me out there this morning?
Yes, of course I do. So everything turned out okay with your brother-in-law. You sounded pretty panicked last night.
Oh, Danny? He turns out he just needed to make a quick number 2. Embarrassing, right?
Yes, quite.
I'll bring some rope and a measuring tape. We can find out just how deep this thing goes. Feeling lucky?
Their conversation left Harry feeling a bit uneasy. He didn't know Kevin very well, just as neighbours do, but he couldn't shake the feeling he was lying to him.
Feeling lucky? What the hell did he mean by that? What's he playing at? Oh well, there'll be time for all that nonsense soon enough. Better let the boys out before I go.
By the time Harry got to the well, Kevin was already there waiting. He was dangling something from a string over the opening and seemed to be giggling to himself. As he got closer, Harry noticed it was a yellow notice card, just like the one he had found the previous day. Without checking, he knew it had to be still in his coat pocket where he had left it. But why was it important?
So, Harry, I figured out what this well is, does, whatever. Do you want to know what it is? It'll blow your mind, bud. Ready? This, Harry, is the well to hell. The express lane to another plane. Crazy concept, am I right? You're probably thinking I've gone mad, and maybe I have. But I proved it to myself last night. And now, I'm going to prove it to you.
Kevin, calm down, please. Prove what to me?
This idea kept plaguing me, constantly turning over and over in my mind. That flashlight had my brother-in-law's name on it. He punched out one of those geeky embossed labels and proudly stuck it on the side. After I dropped it into the well, did he disappear exactly the same time it did? I had to know, so I did a little experiment last night.
What kind of experiment, Kevin?
I came back down here sometime after midnight. I brought one of my wife's past due department store bills with me and tossed it in. Can you guess what happened next? Do you even have to guess? I don't know anybody else on Earth who would believe me but you, Harry. And that's why I can't take any chances leaving you behind. You understand, right?
In a flash, Harry instantly understood everything, especially what was on the yellow slip Kevin was dangling menacingly over the edge of the well. He had an idea, but he had to distract Kevin for just a moment to give him an opening.
Sounds bonkers to me, mate. I'm sure your wife just went out looking for her brother. Sounds like they were close. She's probably back home by now, worried about you.
A moment of doubt showed on Kevin's face. Sensing this, Harry pointed behind him and called out,
Look, here she is now.
"It was an old trick. It was a silly trick. It was a silly old trick. But it worked." By the time Kevin had turned himself around, Harry had pulled out the card from his pocket and tossed it into the well. It maddeningly clung to the edge for a moment and then was gone. In that same moment, Kevin's face had transformed itself from complete surprise to abject horror, vanishing just milliseconds later, leaving Harry just standing there, stupefied and in utter disbelief at what had just transpired.
Well, I guess I better cover this thing up, just to be safe. I wonder who owns this land. Nice place for a cozy cottage down by the riverside. I wonder if I could get a good deal on Kevin and Charlotte's place. The dogs would love it over there.
That concludes our program. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the story.